Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In today's episode, finally, as I promised, we're going to be doing technical analysis on this dump on Bitcoin price over here that we had below $10,500. And yes, as you read in the title or thumbnail, there are some new bullishness over here, new bullish moves that you cannot see right now, but during the video you're going to probably be surprised very well. So this is the reason why you shouldn't be panicking. I'm going to try to cut this video as short as is possible, so you will watch whole video and understand what are we discussing about, and not to skip the parts so you will not understand at the end, as the many of you are asking me in the comment, and I actually explain such a things in the video. So please make sure to stick to the end, hit that like, subscribe button, and yes, I did cut my hair, but that's not important right now. Right now, let's dive right into some technical analysis. So this is the daily chart on the Bitcoin over here, and what we need to cover actually is this triangle that we were into already pretty good month and a half, I think, and after that we managed already 2 days ago to break this level of support over here, as we mentioned in the previous video. Also, this is not too bearish, actually this is very bullish also, because Bitcoin went a little bit too parabolically without stopping. So this should be some sort of a correction for the Bitcoin price, and soon we will get to that also. Now, the first thing first, we need to cover also the volume that is very low. Still, we're still not seeing the breaking those highs over here. So this is pretty much normal on the normal basis over here. This, let's say, dump, let's call it a dump. And I think we have seen in the past 3 days dump of 16%. Now, what we need to bring over here is the RSI. RSI already went into the bearish zone, which is one of the bearish thing on the Bitcoin. Whenever the Bitcoin is above level of 50, it's bullish. Whenever the RSI is below level of 50 over here, then it's on some sort of a way bearish. But this is not just good indicator only to determine the trend, and I'm going to show you very soon why. Also, we can see on the MACD that we are slowly but surely going into the bearish side over here. The histogram is giving us the stronger signals over here, but it is the question if we're actually going to continue and go into the bearish side over here. We're going to see how those indicators will react on the Bitcoin price if the Bitcoin price actually starts again dumping. So one more thing that we need to mention over here is the head and shoulders pattern over here that we had, and it seems like this head and shoulder patterns already played out, as we can see over here. It's just a question, when will it stop actually, when we will see reversal into this on some sort of a way short-term bearish trend. So right now we're going to jump into the bullish side over here. We need to cover bullishness that I saw on the chart, and no, it's not on the daily chart. If you switch on the weekly chart, actually nothing special happened. What you need to understand is to watch always first weekly chart. This is the first thing that I mentioned and the first thing that I noticed once I opened the chart without even blinking. As you can see over here, we never ever corrected since $400 and $200 over here approximately when we dump on those prices over here. I was watching this live, it was insane, and as you can see, we never ever had some sort of a significant pullback onto the 20 exponential moving average. Even this, I don't think we can count this as a pullback, neither as a retest of 20 exponential moving average. So the Bitcoin on the chart of the weekly time frame over here, if we measure, did not correct itself for 126 days, guys. This is the day today when we retested actually 20 weekly exponential moving average. 20 weekly exponential moving average is the trend reversal point for the Bitcoin in most cases. As we can see over here, once we broke certain levels, and if we zoom in a little bit over here, we can see that a certain point of trend reversal over here was somewhere approximately around $7,600. If you remember that time, once we jumped back from that dump, we found level of support over here on this level, and we just continue rallying to the upside. Just right now, we managed to correct with one big weekly candle of 17% over here. And what actually happened, it seems like that the Bitcoin ignored $10,500, went all the way back to retest 20 exponential moving average. And if you zoom in just a little bit over here, you can see this is the pure retouch of 20 weekly exponential moving average. What this basically means is that the traders are most watching the 20 EMA. They are setting their buy orders there just correctly, just above, just on 20 exponential moving average, and this is one very good indication that the Bitcoin has strong support that and everybody are watching that level of 20 EMA. So right now, as we can see over here, weekly EMA hold us pretty good. Now another bullish signal over here is that on the RSI over here we can see that we are still into the bullish zone over here, which is above a level of 50 on RSI, and right now we are even in the most bullish zone ever because we are not into the overbought zone and we are not below level of 50, which is perfectly good cool down zone for the Bitcoin. On the other hand, over here MACD is showing us some weaknesses over here, but it did also in the previous times over here, and that's not so bad because again it got its power and pushed us even 4 weeks more into the new bullish pump, let's say like that. So the MACD, it seems like it's not following very well over here the Bitcoin price, so we're not going to cover it too much, but the RSI and the 20 exponential moving average over here is perfectly good, matching up and lining up for the next correction over here. So for now, right now, at this very moment, we are perfectly fine and perfectly good for the higher levels. The same thing applies for the VeChain, for the Link. If the Bitcoin continues rallying, then those coins are most probably going to follow on their own way, of course, but they are in most cases going to follow the Bitcoin over here. So as we can see over here, that fall down on 0.013 over here, which also indicated the breaking of this level of support of this ascending triangle, unfortunately, but it held above level of 20 exponential moving average on the weekly chart, which is very, very, very important. Link didn't even try to actually retest 20 EMA, so there is a potential and more room for the downside if the Bitcoin continues rally to the downside. Now, the bearish thing that could occur if you're asking what if, is one thing only, and you already know. If we break 20 EMA, there is a potential that we may see trend reversal to the downside, at least for the short period or medium term over here on the Bitcoin price. Also, we need to mention one thing that everybody are talking about, and it seems it's very, very important, and that's CME gap on the daily chart on the Bitcoin. So as everybody are talking about this, statistically speaking, these gaps has been filled almost every single time. So this is the reason why there is a potential that we may revisit actually $9,675 at least over here to just fill out this gap over here that you can see, which means actually price needs to go back and fill out, you know, this gap over here that we have on the Bitcoin price. Almost 99.9% these gaps have been filled. So there is a potential that we will do the same right now, which means that we may visit, at least on the short period of time, those prices to fill that gap and just shoot right back onto it. Now we need to mention one very, very important thing, is that on the weekly chart on the Bitcoin over here doesn't mean that we will actually stay below this 20 EMA. It could happen that the just wick will just come down to fill that gap, and right back we're going to shoot just above 20 EMA and continue our rally on the way to the upside. But also there is a potential that we may retest 20 EMA as a resistance, decline, and then see the lower prices. Only then we can be on some sort of a way bearish on the Bitcoin, at least on a short period of time. But until I see filled gap and actually close below 20 EMA, I cannot be bearish on the Bitcoin at all, because trend is your friend all the way until the end. So right now the trend is still bullish, even so we went into the weekly correction on the 20 EMA, and that should indicate the just, you know, spike back to the upside. But also could happen that we will never actually fill that gap and just continue rallying to the upside. So the thing that you need to observe right now is this price over here where the 20 EMA is standing, and that's $9,000, approximately $10,000 over here. That is going to be your indication what the price wants to do in the future. So I think this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to let you know that for now it's still nothing to be afraid of until we see some prices that I already told you, until we fill up that gap and actually stay below 20 EMA and starts rolling to the downside. I cannot be bearish to the Bitcoin. As long as we are standing on these levels, we may postpone our big parabolic move to the upside, but we are for now on perfectly good track towards that prices. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, and until the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.